Hello, my name is Brandon.
I'm Jameson.
And I'm Jennifer.
And my name is Yasmin.
Every day, we are innovating and advancing modern technology. What we thought was impossible only a few years back is slowly coming to a reality.
We all see advancements in technology as having a positive effect on our life. What about the more dangerous side of technology, military technology?
Will this technology bring us to the top, or will it sink us down to the bottom?
Today we will be answering the question, to what extent have advancements in military combat technology affected the way the U.S. handles foreign affairs?
Since the United States became a nation in 1776, the way we handle global affairs has changed. Let's take a quick look back at history, and we'll also see the way the U.S. has used their military combat technology has also evolved with time.
From muskets and isolationism to drones and internationalism, the U.S. advancements in its military combat technology has a heavy influence on our foreign affairs and how we handle them.
When our nation first formed, George Washington wanted a country that was isolated, that did not involve itself with the affairs of other nations.
Now we tend to emphasize the importance of countries interacting with each other. All of the benefits we gain, the conflicts we avoid, and the overall importance needed with these countries interacting.
Now, throughout time, the military has tried to advance its technologies to stay dominant and to be able to win potential wars in the future. Development was also a big focus during the Cold War.
Today, it's a race to develop the best nuclear weapons along with military weapons. Some recent developments that we have been focused on is cyber warfare, shown by Nick Collather, an American historian and professor. He says that cyber war is going to be a vital part of conflict in the future based on our new reliance on the internet.
Many advancements have also been made in offensive technologies and strategies such as missiles, nuclear bombs, and guns. This is mainly due to other countries trying to advance their own military.
The U.S.'s foreign policy has also changed over time as the U.S. has become more of a world superpower. The U.S. has also been leading in the military combat technology industry.
With all these recent advancements in the U.S.'s military technology capabilities, it has encouraged the U.S. to become more active in its involvement with other countries' activities.
It has taken a more aggressive stance on the way it deals with foreign affairs and has become more involved in the world. This is largely due to the fact that the U.S. military weapons are more developed, and there's this nationalistic sense of we must protect our nation at all costs that contributes to this as well.
George L. Jr. Simpson, a professor of history at High Point University who specializes in the modern Middle East and colonial African history, argues that if the world is to be spared even worse turmoil, the U.S. must develop a strategic doctrine for the region. Stability requires an active American role.
Now, one of the more major foreign affairs that the U.S. has been involved in is that of World War II.
Sean Malloy, an associate professor of history, critical race, and ethnic studies at the University of California, talks about how the Manhattan Project started in 1939, far before the U.S. joined World War II in late 1941, and how the U.S. developed and dropped 2 atomic bombs, one on Hiroshima and the other on Nagasaki, to end World War II.
These bombs killed around 245,000 people, which is a substantial amount. However, in the grand scheme of things, the bombs saved more lives than they killed.
Another major and quite significant foreign affair is that with the Middle East. The U.S. has been using its power and technologies to help those countries in the Middle East fight terrorism.
Camp, a retired senior foreign service officer, discusses how the administration wants to redirect foreign military financing to F-16 midlife updates, which will make the aircraft more effective against terrorists and will provide the new Pakistani government, quote, valuable fiscal flexibility and as they deal with rising food and fuel prices, end quote.
The sale of F-16s to Pakistan transformed the U.S.-Pakistan relationship as the F-16 fleet was used to support Pakistan Army operations in the Swat Valley to help combat extremism in the area.
Now, let's talk about the nuclear umbrella. The nuclear umbrella is a protective agreement made by the U.S. and its allies. Under this protective agreement, the U.S. promises to use its nuclear weapons against anyone who tries to attack one of its allies within this umbrella.
Terrence Rohaig, the professor of National Security Affairs at Naval War College, talks about some of these importances that the nuclear umbrella plays on our nation.
Under the nuclear umbrella are U.S. allies such as South Korea and Japan. The nuclear umbrella is a symbol of defense and national security. With the U.S. improving their nuclear weapons, they have become a nation that has to be taken seriously.
Rohig also mentions how the nuclear umbrella has been established for over 60 years and has yet to have been used. This causes many to question the seriousness of the U.S. to uphold this promise of the nuclear umbrella.
While the nuclear umbrella has not been used, it still creates a strong sense of national security because of its potential promise. Other countries must still be cautious and aware of how they act because there's still always the possibility of the U.S. attacking.
If we were to get rid of the nuclear umbrella, a lot of countries will feel a lost sense of national security. It's good that we have not needed to attack another country with our weaponry while still having our eyes feel safe under the umbrella.
With the U.S. involvement in international conflicts, it has increased its defensive spending. So, when it comes to defending against missile attacks, it has also made investments into defending against online attacks in the future.
This investment in defensive technology led other countries to take a defensive approach to protect their countries instead of focusing on nuclear or missile development, which decreases the tension between countries.
Some possible limitations to this argument can include negative interactions between the U.S. and other countries due to the result of these advanced weapons. One example of this has been the recent controversies between the U.S. and North Korea.
Ankit Panda, senior editor of the Diplomat, writes on these recent controversies between the U.S. and North Korea, and he also discusses the issues of North Korea's use of their nuclear weapons.
Panda says that the U.S. has a large influence on North Korea and their decision to use their nuclear weapons. The U.S. faces the issue of creating stable relations with North Korea and keeping them from using their nuclear weapons.
The goal of the U.S. is to make North Korea feel secure about their current arsenal rather than insecure. If having them feel insecure would result in North Korea using those weapons, which would lead to a global nuclear war.
With that, it creates a situation where the use of nuclear weapons creates a stressful situation for the U.S., where the U.S. has to act accordingly and make proper decisions to satisfy a nuclear North Korea, with the possibility of resulting in a nuclear war, harming the U.S. and possibly other countries.
In conclusion, we believe that the advancements in military combat technology has led the U.S. to become more interactive in foreign affairs in a positive way. While the advancements have led to some negative interactions, we believe that it has ended in more good than it has bad. With the U.S. increasing national defense for its allies, preventing possible casualties in war, improving overall relations globally, and becoming a stronger national leader.
These are our sources.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to start, Jennifer, with you for the first question. So in the future, what change would you make to your group norms in order to make your team presentation better than what it was?
Well, what I would do is have more strict deadlines, because I know for me and for the members of the rest of my group, we had a hard time completing stuff because we would procrastinate on it and wait till like the very last minute. So if we had more strict deadlines to finish the IRR at a certain time, then I believe that we could do more research and maybe include more things.
Okay, thank you. Yasmin, so what was the strongest counter argument to your conclusion that you guys identified, and what was it?
I mean, the most strongest argument against our conclusion would definitely be that with North Korea, especially since our current interactions with them could potentially lead to a nuclear war, since we're currently not coming to any sort of definite permanent agreement between the countries. Is only temporary, and we don't know when war could definitely burst out. So our interactions with North Korea is not necessarily positive, but it's positive for now. So that would be a really strong argument against our argument, which is that the U.S. is affecting the world in a positive way.
Thank you very much. Jameson, so how did your group decide to include Yasmin's overall research in your presentation and your conclusion?
With her research, she had good information on the U.S.'s relationship with Pakistan, with the sale of F-16s, and how the advancements of technology that Pakistan needed, the U.S. was able to provide for them, which helped their relationship, grow. So that's one of the main things that we use from her.
Right. Thank you very much. And Brandon, having finished this project, what would you consider a gap in your research that you would like to address if you could do this over?
If we could do this over, a gap I would address in our research was the amount of countries that we did research on. We only chose about 2 to 3 countries to research U.S. interactions with, so in the future I would like to do more to get a more accurate answer.
Okay. All right.